All right. What's going on, everyone? Aaron here, Clean Cuts Lawn Care. It is Wednesday morning. Just now leaving the shop. So you can probably tell from the title of the video that something happened. And I haven't, now there are videos I still have edited, gonna put out in between today and this incident happening. But I could not talk about this incident. My lawyer told me do not talk about it. He wanted time to confirm that I was in the clear legally, which I knew I was, but you never know, okay? So, and when I say my lawyer, he's not actively my lawyer, but he did represent me a few times in my much younger days, and we are still in contact. So no, he's not my everyday lawyer, okay? I don't need one, but we are still in contact, and when this incident happened, I immediately did go to him. So what happened? All right, this story actually happened 2 weeks ago today, and the story actually starts 3 weeks ago today. So let's start there. 3 weeks ago. You know what? Let's start even further back. This customer we've had for 3 years. We do year-round service, mowing, spring and fall cleanup, snow removal, any landscape projects, things like that. When she first signed up, it was in the fall of our first season. So that next spring, we had her like on the first house of the day. So either the first or second week of that spring, the neighbor comes out, and she's an older lady, and she was very nice and polite, and she told me that she works third shift at the hospital, has a couple more years to retirement, and asked us if there was any way we could not come in the morning. Now, normally I do not switch things, okay? It's just part of life. However, she was an older lady, and in this instance, it didn't matter if this house was number one or the very last house of the day. Either way, it was going to fit in the route perfectly, first or last. So I said, absolutely, I can do that for you. And I did do it. I moved it to the last house. Now, we never seen that customer again, okay? A few weeks later, she did send a message through our customer thanking us, that she appreciates us doing that. And up until 2 weeks ago, I never seen that lady again. Earlier this year, another message was sent through our customer from the neighbor that she retired from the hospital. She appreciates that we did that for her, and if we needed to come there in the morning, it would no longer bother her, which is great, because once Robbie went down to part-time, I did have to switch that back to the morning. I was pretty much going to have to do it one way or the other at that point, but it worked out perfectly, so we did that. 3 weeks ago, that customer comes outside and tells me that her boyfriend lost his place, and that she was going to basically have to let him move in with her temporarily. I said, hey, okay. She said, I just want to give you guys a heads up in case you see someone here, a man, that you've never seen before, because we haven't. So I just wanted you guys to know. So I said, oh, okay, thanks for letting us know. I was like, obviously I don't care, right? Like, but okay, she gave us a heads up. So I actually even made the comment like, oh, you know, it'd be nice to meet him, and you know, I was real polite and nice. So that was 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we go there to mow the property. I don't remember what Robbie had to do with the mowers, because normally I start edging and trimming. He mows the back with a bigger mower. He is already done and in the front yard, beginning to mow the front with the 30 by the time I get back out to the front. He either had to scrape the deck from the day before. I want to say that was it, actually. So I start trimming and edging, and I finish trimming and edging before he makes it out to the front. So I grab the 30-inch and I start mowing the front. I do my 2 perimeter cuts, and then I start mowing. We're mowing east to west that week. On one of my passes towards our customer's driveway, I make the pass, I turn around on the perimeter, and as I start coming back, I see the side door open of our customer's house. I don't see anyone come out. I'm already walking, but I do see the screen door open all the way, like kind of slam open. So, I'm facing forward, I'm walking, I'm making my pass, and out of nowhere, someone grabs my shoulder and pulls me like they're trying to turn me around. I spin around, and I had my big headphones on, my earmuff headphones. I'm taking my headphones off, but I can hear the guy. It's a guy, I would say 31, 32 years old, probably 8 or 9 years younger than me, pretty much the same height as me, no shirt, he's in a pair of basketball shorts, that's it. As I'm taking my headphones off, I hear him saying, "What the F are you doing here this early? I'm effing sleeping." And by the time I get my headphones off, I go in on this guy. I just go off on him. And I end my rant with, "If you ever put your effing hands on me again, you're gonna have a problem." Now, again, I had already checked him out. He's in basketball shorts. I know he don't have anything in his hands. I know there's no weapon or whatever. I turn around to grab my mower. I was more than likely just gonna stop mowing and get out of there, even though the yard was almost done. I just had like 2 more passes, probably 3 more passes in the tree lawn, and then we had to blow off. I think I was just gonna get out of there. I turned back around, and this time he grabs the side of my neck and he tries pulling me around again, and I pull away from him, and he actually scratches my neck going back. This time when I turned around, I gave him exactly what he had been asking for. I turn around, I throw 1 punch. It was a solid square shot to the face. He doesn't handle it well. He goes down on his ass and he's holding his face. Now, the first time I spun around, when he grabbed me, who do I see standing on their porch at the at the railing closest to us on their porch? That neighbor from 3 years ago that I had not seen, not even one time, from that conversation we had when she first came out and spoke to us. So immediately when I turned around and seen her, that threw me off. So the incident happens. As soon as it happens, I grab my mower. He's sitting on his ass, holding his face. By the way he was bleeding, I knew he was either currently drunk or he was like a regular drinker. So he ends up, I go to the trailer, I'm loading everything. He goes and stands by the side door, and the neighbor comes out and meets me at the trailer. And she tells me that she was on her back patio with her dog when we first got there. So her back patio almost lines up with that side door, because the side door sits further back. she heard him open the door, and she heard him say, "I'm gonna F this mother effer up." And that's when she went through her house and came out onto the porch. So she told me that her husband was inside calling the police. So I said, okay, look, at this point, he went in the side door. I said, I don't know what he just went inside to get or what he plans on doing, but I don't want you around if he does it. So you go back home. I said, there's a gas station right at the bottom of the street. I said, I'm gonna go to the gas station and call the customer. I said, if you did call the police, if they come, I said, I don't want them thinking that I left this or ran away from this situation. She goes, nope, I will let them know. And I said, okay. Now, I also let her know I'm not interested in pressing charges against this guy or anything like that. I don't want charges pressed against me. It's over. So I go to the gas station, I call the customer. Hey, can I turn right here? She actually answers the phone with, hi, I'm almost home. I'll be home in about 5 minutes, figuring we're at her house. So I said, well, listen, I'm at the gas station. I need you to come down here. I need to speak with you. Clearly, she knew something was up. The customer and a police car pull in almost simultaneously, probably 20 seconds apart. So I'm explaining to the customer what happened. The officer lets me know there is another officer at the house speaking with both the neighbor and this guy, and I make it known immediately I am not interested in pressing any charges, and I don't feel any charges should be able to be pressed against me. So I call my lawyer. Now, his office isn't open yet, but I have his cell phone number, and he answers. I tell him exactly what happened, and he told me to file a report to protect myself, but on the first line of the report, right, I do not want to press charges. So I said, okay. The cops wanted me to file a report. I write it. The neighbor's story was an exact replica of mine, of what happened. And I find out he's only been there for less than a week. I find out the neighbor has already had to call the police on him for an altercation. I don't know what that entails. So the next day I actually go and visit with my lawyer. At the end of the day, well, I stopped there and speak with him, and he told me he's certain I'm in the clear. I was certain I was in the clear, but he did not want me to mention this on video because a lot of people don't know this, but you know, when police come into a situation, let's just say two people had an altercation, and let's just say one of those get arrested and not the other one. That does not automatically mean that other person is in the clear. That just means this is what the police seen and the decisions they made at the time. But what happens is when they go back, they file all their reports. All their reports get sent over to the prosecutor's office, and from there, that's where the decisions really get made. The decisions might even be to dismiss the charges that were filed against the first person. Maybe the decision is to charge the other person. You never know what that investigation will entail. So he didn't want me to mention this at all until he had time to verify by calling over to the prosecutor's office, who he knows two of the prosecutors in that city. Maybe that's all they have, I don't know. And he wanted to verify that I was in the clear. He did. He also verified no charges were being pressed against the other party. He did. they did want me to press charges, I would not. Now, if it had something to do with my family, of course, I would do whatever I needed to do. If it has to do with me, I will handle it. Okay? I don't do all that bullshit with the cops, and it would have to be something big, you know? But pretty much, I handle my own shit, you know? So, a couple, not a full week, maybe 5 or 6 days would go by, and you wouldn't believe it, but I would get a text message from this guy. And he would, in this message, immediately open up with an apology for what happened, that he completely understands my reaction to what happened, and then he would go into an explanation. You know, I'm under a lot of stress, I lost my job, I lost my apartment, I had to move in with my girlfriend, we are currently on the outs, she's just doing this to help me out. And what's he finish it with, or not finish it, but include? Unfortunately, I have been drinking too much. I knew it from how much he was bleeding. I said, he's been drinking. So he tells me that the night before this incident happened, our customer basically let him know that he needs to move out. I don't know why, what happened with them, but basically she said, you know, this is not going to work. You're going to have to hurry up and leave. I'm assuming a big fight happened, and that's when the neighbor heard it and called the cops. I think. I don't know. So he said he had been up all that night drinking because remember, the customer was on her way home. She had left the night before and stayed gone. He was up all night drinking, and she was on her way home when this incident happened. That's how that all ties together. So, you know, he had fell asleep like a couple hours before this incident happened, heard the mowers, and, you know, that's how he woke up. So, as far as I'm concerned, the situation's over. Like I said, I was not going to do anything legally. I was certain nothing legal was going to happen against me. But I, of course, immediately turned to my lawyer. You never know. I mean, it wouldn't have been my first time in the pokey, you know? So, everything's fine now, though. As long, you know, I'm assuming he's still at the house. I was there last week mowing, didn't see him. I'm heading there today, you know, so just, it's all good. I'm not mad. You said you're not mad. There's no legal action taken. You keep your distance, I'll keep mine. Let me just do my job and I'm gone, and everything's all good. So, all right, I just wanted to put this story out to you guys because I do have permission now to put it out, and that's how it all went down, kid. All right.